Hello everyone, Monty here. I'm going to teach you how to make homemade pizza with my 3-ingredient dough. You can use 2 ingredients if you have self-rising flour. I showed you how to make the dough for the bagels in my last video, so I'm not going to waste all that time showing you how to make the dough. It's the same dough. I just made another batch, but I just made it into one ball. And this time I did let it rise a little bit and it does make it a little easier to work with, right? So first thing I'm going to do is I want to make sure I put on my parchment paper here just a little flour. I'm going to dust it with a little bit of flour. So I'm going to work with it just a little. It's almost done, just a little bit to get it ready to put in the oven. I preheated my oven to 500 degrees. Now I'm going to take, I forgot my cooking spray. So I've got my non-stick pizza pan, which it's about 13 inches, so it's big. It's gonna be a big pizza. And I'm gonna spray it with some extra virgin olive oil spray. And I'm just gonna need this just a little more to make sure it's ready to go on top of my pan. There we go. It feels much easier to work with that I let it sit than before. So what we're gonna do is, this is how I do it. I'm gonna move the parchment paper out of the way, and I'm gonna take some flour in my hands that was on that parchment and dust my hands, and I'm just gonna start forming the pizza shape with it. And as you keep working it, you may need a little bit more flour on top. It makes it easier. That's my oven going off saying it's preheated to 500 degrees. And this pizza is so good. I'm just going to show you. Now it takes a while to work it and get it out into the pan, but here we go. We're getting there. Now I wasn't good at this at first. It took me about 3 pizzas for me to get good at making. I'm going to show you my technique for making a little crust, and you'll see. So just kind of get it out to the edges because we want to make a big pie. Now this is I calculated, this is gonna be 655 calories for a cheese pizza with onion and garlic. Normally I eat the whole thing, and that would be a very high calorie dinner for me. But what I love about having somebody at my house, which I never do, I'm always here by myself, is my mom is here. So we're gonna have a half a pizza, so I'm not eating the whole thing, which will be 326 calories, right? 327 calories, 28 if you want to round up. And what I'm gonna do is make some spaghetti squash and tomato sauce. She loves that. So we're going to have half a pizza and some spaghetti squash, which will be like less than 200 calories. So it's gonna be like a 500 calorie meal and a lot of food. A half a pizza and stop it, Chang. Somebody's at my door. So we're almost at the edge with the pizza. And okay, we're almost at the edge here. So you just keep working it. You have to be gentle with it. Put a little more dough on your hands while you're doing it. And we will, it's my mom in the other room talking to Sushi. I told her, quiet on the set! She can't hear me, but she's making noise in the other room. I told her I was making a video. I don't know if you can hear her or not, but she's talking to the dog. A little hard of hearing, so she talks really loud. But, all right, so we're gonna bring this to the edge. Now that the pizza's all the way to the edge, I'm watching the time because we only have 15 minutes. My last video was really long. Okay. So I'm gonna try and push it out as far as I can because I want to kind of make a little crust, although this thing went all the way out to the edge, so we'll see. But I want to push some more out to the edges because I want to be some leftover at the edge. I see how it's all the way to the pan, to the side, but I need to have like a little extra to make that crust, so I'm going to keep pushing it. It's funny that dough, you'll get to, after you do it a couple of times, and I'm going to push down with my fingers too, to start making a little crust, tapping, but I'm going to need to push. And I can push more to make more of a crust. I will say that my pizzas are beautiful. It took me a while to get there. I always say, first, you always have to fail first. First attempt and fail is first attempt in learning. It's an acronym, I love that, right? So you're never gonna be good at anything the first time, but just stick with it. And see, it's taken shape now. Okay, so this was 3 cups of bread flour. I'm gonna try it with some other flour next time. But this is what I had on hand. 3 cups of bread flour, 1 cup of Fabergé non-fat yogurt, and 2 teaspoons of baking powder, because I don't have the self-rising flour. So now, okay, there we go. See how beautiful? Okay, and we got a little bit of a crust on the edge. I pushed it up. Yeah, normally I'd work it even more, but for the interest of this video and the amount of time that we have, I'm not gonna do that. Okay. So now I measured out 1/2 cup of Muir Glen organic tomato sauce. I know that 1/2 cup is usually right. I forgot to get a spoon. And then I just take a spoon and I ladle it. And 1/2 cup is 50 calories. Oh, I forgot. Actually, this is more. This is going to be 700 calories. I forgot the Muir Glen tomato sauce. So there I added wrong, but I'll put all the calories and everything in the post. So, you know, 700 calories for one person is way too much, right? For one meal. It's a 700 calorie pizza, but you know, if you ate a pizza this size, like it's gotta be like over 1,000 calories from like Pizza Hut or something like that, and it's gonna be full of bad stuff, right? I always tell the story that my blood pressure was high when I went to my doctor, and the nurse said to me, "You didn't by any chance eat Pizza Hut pizza last night?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, I did, and I haven't had pizza in like years. How did you know that?" She says, "We see people with high blood pressure, they eat something very salty, and pizza is one of the saltiest foods, send your blood pressure through the roof." So I thought that was very interesting. Okay, so now we've got that. We've got it all smoothed out, see? The sauce is all smoothed out. Then what we're gonna do is, since this is a garlic and onion pizza, I have like 1/2 cup of onion, which we're just gonna put, I'm gonna put spinach in. Normally I would put spinach, but we're gonna put spinach in the, these are stuck together. Spinach in the spaghetti squash and tomato sauce, so we're not gonna do that. I'm gonna put this here, I'm just gonna outline. We're not even gonna use the 1/2 cup, I don't think, so we'll see. Get some onion. Okay, I'm gonna get a rag to wipe my hands. Then we're gonna do some sea salt. I have about 4 cloves of garlic that I minced up that I'm gonna put. So we're gonna do garlic and onion. My mother loves garlic, so do I. I'm gonna have garlic in the other dish too. Okay, so now we got lots of garlic on here. I measured 1.5 ounces of mozzarella, which is 135 calories, because it's 90 calories an ounce. And we're gonna put that on. And that's not a lot of cheese. You can imagine how much cheese they put on these pizzas. It's crazy, right? So what I do, since this really isn't a lot of cheese for a big pizza like this, I add in some Parmesan, which is low calorie. It's 20 calories a tablespoon, right? So we're gonna do 2 tablespoons. And 2 tablespoons, here's 1. And we're gonna do 2. And voila, we have a mozzarella and Parmesan cheese pizza. The oven's already preheated. I'm gonna wash my hands here. And we're gonna throw this in the oven, and it's gonna be ready in about 17 to 20 minutes. You have to watch it. I think 17 should be good enough at 500 degrees. So I'll turn the camera off, and I'll turn it back on when it's coming out of the oven. Okay guys, the pizza actually only had to cook about 11.5 minutes and it was ready. Looks delicious. So I'm gonna go, because we're gonna eat dinner. We're gonna have this and some spaghetti squash and tomato sauce Hope you enjoyed learning how to make homemade pizza.